Good day, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about the top things that's slowing down your potential to be great. Now, without wasting any more time, the first thing on the list is just hoping that everything is going to be better one day. Now, your life will slowly get better if you do the things that you need to do to get better on a daily basis. But just by hoping that everything is going to be okay, it's just not going to happen that way. The best thing to do is to act like the version of yourself that you want to be later on, and day by day it's going to get better. But just by hoping, it's just not going to happen that way. Number 2 on the list is not keeping your word. You say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, or you push it off to tomorrow. This is detrimental because in a way you're betraying yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, you definitely can't trust anybody else. If you keep using excuses and telling yourself, I'm going to do it next time or I'm going to do it tomorrow, eventually a whole year is going to pass by and you're going to be in the same position next time around. So instead of using excuses and talking about it, make sure you take action. Number 3 on the list is paying too much attention to other people's lives. This is when you pay too much attention to celebrities and your peers and what everybody else is doing. You're always focused on what somebody else is doing with their lives instead of what you're doing in your life. You know, you see these people that make headlines and their lives are looking like it's not going well, or they're going through a divorce, or they're losing money or something like that, or they're going to jail. And you're so focused about it, you're talking about it with everybody else, but deep inside, like, your life is in turmoil. So you got to make sure that you're not just focusing too much on other people's lives, you're focusing on yourself. Using so much of your time to talk about other people really is a distraction. And another distraction is comparing your life to other people. You know, it's easy to do that on social media, and you comparing yourself to your peers and whatnot, and you're seeing what they have and what you don't have, but it's just not good in the long term because you don't know how they got their stuff and you don't know the stuff that they're not telling you. So try not to compare yourself too much to other people's lives. Next on the list is not being consistent and lacking discipline. You know, you get so motivated for a day, you use all your energy and you have a really productive day and you get things done, but then the rest of the week you don't actually get things done. You're not productive. You know, if you don't do things enough, it doesn't, you can only get so good. It doesn't compound. You know, it's like compound interest. The more you apply it, the better it gets over time. But if you only have one productive day out the week, and then the next week you don't even do anything, and it keeps going on like that, then you can't even get that good. You have to keep going. On another note, nothing big is going to happen in your life if you don't have discipline. Discipline is probably the most important component of it all, because if you don't know how to do things when you're not feeling motivated, and you don't do things just because it's what you have to do, then you're not going to get very far. You know, it's easy to do things when you're in the mood and the day is perfect, but on those bad days where you don't feel like doing anything and you still got to get things done, that's when it's really going to count. And that's probably going to be a majority of days, because you know, there's a lot of days you're not going to want to do things. You're going to be feeling discouraged and everything like that. Nothing that's worth it is going to be easy. You're going to have to outwork a lot of people, and you're going to have to become a version of yourself that's better than you've ever been before. But at the end, it will be worth it. You just have to keep applying to yourself and getting better every day. Next thing on the list is avoiding your purpose, using other productive things as a cover-up. Now, when I say this, I'm talking about you went to the gym, you did laundry, you went to the grocery store, you know, you did a whole bunch of stuff that seemed like they're productive, but at the end of the day, the only thing you were supposed to do is write your book, or you were supposed to work on a specific part of a business, or you were supposed to learn a specific topic or do a certain type of research, but you did everything else. So it seems like you were productive, but in the end, you didn't actually move the needle forward. So it was all a waste of time. Whenever we wake up, I think it's really important that we focus on the things that need to get done and try to do them first, because there's so many things that can interrupt us and things that make us seem like we're being productive, but it really doesn't mean anything, and it's not actually going to change our life. So we need to focus on the things that are actually going to, you know, move things forward. That's the things you want to prioritize. Next on the list is focusing on negative thoughts and what you don't have instead of using positive thoughts and focusing on the things that you do have. Pretty much being optimistic. This is important because before you actually do something, it's going to start in your head first. If you're able to master your mindset, it's going to make being successful and accomplishing your goals a lot easier. It always starts in your head first. That is literally the foundation of everything else. Next on the list is surrounding yourself with the wrong people. This could be an unsupportive or a discouraging significant other. It could be parents that want to hold you back from taking risks, or it could be your friends, people that you trust that don't keep things real with you, and they don't tell you things that you need to hear. These are all people you want to distance yourself away from, and you just stay away from them because they're not going to push you to be the best person that you can be. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to push you and tell you things that you don't want to hear. Anybody can hold you back if you let them. Next on the list is wasting too much time in between tasks. You know, you get something done, or let's say you go to the gym and then you don't get to your next thing until an hour later, and then the next thing takes another hour, and then the next thing takes 2 hours. Before you know it, you're at the end of the day. So you want to make sure you schedule your time and have an agenda, and you actually apply it. That way you get everything done that you need to at the end of the day. That way at the end of the day, you can check off everything that you were supposed to get done. Wasting too much time is really detrimental because it's really the only thing that can actually change your life at the end of the day. You know, especially if you don't have kids or a family or other things that you really have to tend to. You know, if you really have no responsibilities or obligations, that's really the time you need to focus, because, you know, eventually you're not going to have that much time because you're going to have kids to take care of and things of that nature. Guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like. And also, I have this book on Amazon. It's called Overcome the Opposition. As you know, that's the name of the channel. This book is short, it's sweet, but it has a good information about overcoming obstacles and just how to be a better version of yourself. So yeah, go check that out. I appreciate it. Number 9 on the list is staying up too late and then waking up too late. You know, this is detrimental because I think it's a lot easier to get things done in the morning, especially before distractions happen and everybody's awake and you're stuck in traffic and everything like that. It's just a lot easier. It's a lot more quiet to get things done early in the day. But in order to do that, you got to go to sleep early. But I do understand some people work better at night. If you work better at night, the main thing is just to find a schedule that works for you and a schedule that works when you're most productive. So just make sure you study yourself and find out what works for you and keep it real with yourself. Next on the list is being too lazy. I know we all get in those moods, but you got to make sure not to let it take you away from your goals, because being lazy is probably one of the most deadliest sins. I'm pretty sure it's in the Bible. But yeah, you just want to make sure you're always on go, because your goals are not negotiable, man. When it comes to doing things on your own, you almost have to act like your employer is about to fire you, because that's pretty much what it is. If you don't accomplish your goals, then you're going to expire and you're not going to be happy with the life that you have. You know, I think it's really important to be accountable and be responsible for whatever it is that you're doing, because nobody else is going to hold you accountable like you can do it yourself. Next on the list is keeping momentum in whatever you're doing. It's important to keep momentum because it's always easier to do things when you have rhythm and things are in motion and you are in routine. It's much easier because you don't have to keep stopping and going. We all know the law. When object in motion stays in motion. That's true, and it applies to a lot. So just keep that in mind whenever you're stopping and starting stuff. You want to make sure you just keep the ball rolling, because it's much easier to do it that way.